Good morning from Brazil to you guys. How are you today? I hope you are all doing great. I'm still a bit sleepy, but let's get to work. As you guys know, today it is time to study a little more complex grammar topics. So pay lots of attention and try to keep it up. I will be with you for the next minutes explaining reported speech, which is so difficult for some people, but hopefully after this lesson, it will be easier for you to understand it and to construct correct sentences. All right? Hello, Max. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being around. I'm here for you and for everyone who wants to learn English. So I will start asking you a question. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I hope you're all doing great as well. Let me know if you can see the slides and if you can hear me properly. So let's go. Tell me in the comments what a reporter does. You know this profession, right? Reporter. What do reporters do? Hi to everyone who's here. I'm happy to see my dearest learners, Ying, Bobo, and all people who are always supporting my lessons, Kim as well. Thank you guys, you're awesome. Hello to Dubai. So guys, tell me, what does a reporter do? You know this profession, right? Reporter. So let me ask it. What does a reporter do? Oh, sorry. There was an R missing here. Hi to everyone. Don't forget to participate in the lesson, okay? I need you guys to participate as much as possible. So let me see what your answer for this question is. What does a reporter do, people? I'm a teacher, so my profession is like this. I teach lessons, I plan lessons, I study a lot. I try to create new types of lessons and try to keep my students motivated. That's what I do. And what about a reporter? What does a reporter do, or what do reporters do? Let me know in the comments. Let me read here. Okay, Max, thank you so much. Come on, guys. Max knows a lot about English, and he is the only one who answered the question. I want to see you guys working a little bit. So what do reporters do? They report things, okay? They report things. They talk about events, okay? They write reports. Yes, sometimes they do that. Journalists write reports and posts as well. And sometimes the reporters talk about conversations, right? Do reporters talk about conversations? Do reporters talk about conversations? Yes? That's it, Tita. They report things. That's right. And are conversations sometimes the topic of some reporters? What do you think? Is it possible to talk about a conversation? Yes, they do talk about events, but sometimes they talk about conversations, right? We all do that. Do we talk about conversations, right? We do that all the time, mainly if you like to gossip, gossip. Don't worry, Laura, if the topic is too difficult for you. Remember that on Wednesdays, I teach beginners, okay? Beginners and intermediate. This topic is for high intermediate or advanced, okay? So when we talk about sometimes we talk about conversations and sometimes we gossip. What is to gossip? Look at those giraffes. They seem to be gossiping about some conversation. He said, what? What do you imagine the giraffe has heard from other giraffe? What did the giraffe say? What do you think? Use your imagination a little bit. Very, very good answers, guys. Reporters talk about hot tissues. They give information. They talk about something that happened suddenly. They write articles and report for a newspaper. That's it. So my next question, what has the giraffe heard? They are all impressed by something, by some information they obtained from a conversation. Oh, awesome, Tita. Your imagination is wonderful. They are gossiping about some hot guy. Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you for the definition of gossip, Max. Thank you so much. To gossip is to talk or report about other people's private lives. That might be unkind, disapproving, or not true. Yeah, this happens all the time, right? But not always we gossip when we talk about conversations. Can you imagine a situation that we are talking about conversations, but we are not gossiping? Is it possible to imagine a situation like that? That we talk about conversations, but we are not gossiping? I think this happens all the time, right? Sometimes you are sleepy, you are attending a class, but then you doze off, or you zoom out. Do you know these two verbs? Doze off, zoom out in class? Has this ever happened to you? Ita thinks the giraffe was talking about another female giraffe. Yeah, that's a nice idea. I think it's something like that. The important thing here, okay. One more question. Doze off. Have you guys ever dozing off in class? Do you know what it means? It's when you are too sleepy and you you start to sleep. You start to sleep, especially during the day or in the class, right? And your classmates make fun of you. So that is to doze off. Have you guys ever dozed off in class? This has happened to me so many times because I'm just a sleepyhead and it was very difficult to wake up early in the morning. So sometimes when I dozed off in class, I had to ask my friends, my classmates, to tell me about the information shared in class. So in this case, I was asking about a conversation, right? I was asking about the teacher's conversation, but we were not gossiping, okay? Hello, hello to Piroshka, be welcome. So guys, it's possible to talk it's possible to talk about conversations and not being gossiping, all right? So when we talk about conversations, we need a special structure, all right? So when we talk about conversations, we need a special structure, a special grammar structure. That is the reported speech, okay? So the reported speech is nothing else other than talking about conversations. So that's the idea. So if you're American, you don't have to change the structure of the sentences so much because in the United States, they keep it simple. But in England, guys like to change a little more the structure of the sentences. That's why this topic is a bit difficult because you must know all the tenses: present, past, future, present perfect. If you guys have been following my lessons, you are probably sharp at English tenses by now. So it's time to learn this important thing, which is the reported speech, because we need to talk about conversations, and it's important to talk about the conversations correctly, okay? Are you guys following? Thank you so much for your sweet comments. Thank you for following the lesson. So let's see some examples now, okay? The direct speech is like someone is saying, I'm a nurse, okay? I'm a nurse. But when I talk about this, I must change because I am not the person who is speaking anymore. I'm talking about a woman who was talking about her profession. So instead of I use she, okay? So she said. Instead of I use she again. But look at the tense. I am is in the present simple. So there is a big difference here. When I report about a conversation of a woman in which she said she was a nurse, it's necessary to change from the present simple to the past simple. So I am a nurse. She said she was a nurse, okay? Am in the present, was in the past. Are you following, guys? Do you understand why we change? We change because at the moment the person was talking about it, it was present. But when I report something which was said, it's not present anymore, it's past. I'm talking about words which were said in the past, not in the present. That's why British changed this. But Americans would say, she said she's a nurse, okay? So you see both forms, like keeping it simple in the same tense or changing the tense to the past. If you need to take an exam like IELTS or TOEFL, it will be necessary for you to understand those changes and follow the correct structure according to British people, okay? So she said she was a nurse. Let's see the second example. I'm not going. You were with a friend, you were inviting your friend to go to a very nice activity, and then he said, I'm not going. You were shocked with that situation, and when you wanted to talk about it, you needed to report his words. So how can you do that? I am not going. Look, what do we have here? We have the verb be, I am. You have the verb go with ing. So it's the present continuous or the present progressive. Remember that we can use this to talk about future too, when it's a certain future. In this case, the person has lots of certainty about not going. He really doesn't want to go, okay? An alternative to that would be I won't go, which is neutral, but I'm not going. The person is putting lots of certainty, okay? Yes, Kim, I agree with you. It's difficult to remember all the tenses. But as we do more and more exercises and as we talk more and more about those tenses, they get easier to understand. So guys, when it's present continuous and I report, I must put in the past continuous. So instead of he said he isn't going, which is like what Americans would say, you must say he said he wasn't going. All right? So it's easier for you to remember that when there is the verb be, am, is, or are in the reported speech, when you talk about conversations, you will always change to was or were. Remember that was we use with I, he, she, it, and were with you, with they. Okie dokie? Jeffrey Lee, yes, your comment is right, but the reported speech is not quite like that, okay? When you report the past in the reported speech, it's going to be different. So notice here, if she said she was a nurse in the reported speech, in this case, following the grammar rule, you would need past perfect, okay? So if she's not a nurse anymore and you report that, you would say she said she had been a nurse, okay? Faiza, oh, we have so many good comments here. Let's have a look at them before we proceed, okay? Good morning to everyone. He said he wasn't going. That's it. I'm leaving on Tuesday, I said. I said that I was leaving on Tuesday. Perfect, Faiza. You really got it. We talk about past. Yeah, he said he was not going. That's it, guys. So let's see the next one. The next one is past simple. If something was said in past simple, like I was explaining, you must change it to the past perfect, okay? So Tony did it. She sat and had done it. Remember that the simple past, to form the simple past, I use did not for the negative and the verb in the base form. So he did not do the dishes. And I changed the verb either to a past form or ed form for the affirmative. He did it. Or if I use the verb go, for example, went and didn't go for negative. All right, guys? Let's see more comments. He said he dozed off when his girlfriend hugged him. He said he dozed off when his girlfriend hugged him. You must put hug in the past as well, okay, Mohammed? Excellent. Um, and then we have, yes, that's it. Faiza, past simple, past perfect. That's it. So notice that I use past perfect for two tenses. When I report past simple and when I report present perfect, okay? So in this case, you must infer if it's simple past or present perfect by the context, in case you just have the reported sentence, okay? But it's perfectly fine because you understand the context when you are talking about other people's conversations. That's it. Good job, guys. So present perfect, for example, oh, okay. And remember that the past perfect, we use had or hadn't for negative, and the past participle of the verb. For the regular verbs, we put ed, like clean, cleaned, play, played, all right? Study, studied. But for the irregular verbs, you have a different form, like driven, thought, bought, given, etc. Okie dokie. So then we have the past continuous, which is with the verb be. So I use the past perfect continuous. Instead of was or were, I will use had been. All right? And the verb with ing in both direct speech and reported speech. Are you guys following? I learned a lot, he said. He said he had learned a lot. Wonderful, Faiza. That's it. Teacher, dozed, verb past. Why should I use two verbs in the past? Because you are using the past perfect, which is like the past of the past. Past perfect is the past of the past. I have taught two lessons on present perfect previously, before this lesson. So if you quite if you quite understand past perfect, okay, but if you don't, have a look at those lessons because they can be very useful for that, okay? Okay, Mohammed, I can link you with this lesson later, past perfect. Then you understand more details on that. But all in all, the past perfect is composed of these two elements, auxiliary verb had, and the past participle of the verb. Past perfect, I put had, and past participle. For example, he had bought a house before he got married. Okay. All right. So let's proceed. I can return to your question later. Okay, Mohammed? Don't worry. I will cover it, but not now. Otherwise, we will lose focus. Okay? But all in all, the past perfect, we used to talk about events which took place before some other event in the past. Okay? So I like to say that it's like the past of the past, or the past before past. Okay? You're welcome. So let's go to the modal verbs. Some modals, they have an equivalent modal to express the idea of past. Okay? So for example, when I talk about the future, I use will. But when I talk, no problem, Tanya, you are always very welcome. When I talk about some hypothetical event, or I'm projecting some future, but it's imaginary, I use would. So would is kind of the past equivalent to talk about the future, okay? So I can say that all in all, not correctly denomination, okay? But all in all, would functions as the past of will when we express idea in the future. So naturally, I would change will to would when I'm reporting things, okay? When I'm reporting things, I change from will to would. And when I'm reporting things with can, I change from can to could. And from may to might. All right, guys? Do you get it? Now, another very important detail. That this detail isn't part of the slide, so I need you to pay extra attention to it, okay? When I am reporting imperative sentences, I put to or not to. Do you know a song which says, don't worry, be happy. Choo, 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 doo, 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 doo. Don't worry, be happy. This is imperative. Imperative, for example, open your book, close your book, open the door, open the window, be quiet, help me please. That is imperative. We use it for orders, for instructions, to ask for favors, all right? When we report imperative, we use to or not to. So for example, the song tells us not to worry and to be happy. Okay? You see, the structure is completely different from the changes when we are talking about tenses, because it's a different case. It's the imperative. All right? Are you following? So, when we report questions, are we asking questions again? When we report a question that someone asked us, are we asking people questions or just saying things? When we report conversations with conversations, are we asking questions or talking about questions in the affirmative form? What do you think? Are we asking questions or talking about questions in the affirmative when we are reporting things? Yes, she said that I might be late. Wonderful. That's it, might. So when we report conversations, we are not asking people questions. We are just talking about the questions. So naturally, the form of the questions should disappear and the affirmative form takes place. Okay? So if I ask, where are you from? I need to do two things. Put the sentence. Put the sentence in the affirmative and change the tense. Okay? So if you have to do some exercise, you need to do these two things when you are reporting questions. So where are you from? The teacher asked where I was from. Okay? The teacher asked where I was from. Let's try to report Piroshka's sentence. Her sentence is, where, yes, but it's not a question, Piroshka. It's an affirmative because I'm talking about a question, not asking a question again. Okay, guys? So the teacher asked where I was from. So let's practice with two. Do you like English? How can we report this one? Do you like English? Give it a try in the comments. Do you like English? The teacher asked. Yes, that's it, guys. She asked where I was from. And if I ask, do you like English? The teacher asked. Is this question, where are you from? I used where to connect the sentences, right? And do you like English? I will use if to connect the sentences, okay? Remember that it's affirmative form, okay, Piroshka? So the first thing I have to do is to put the sentence from the interrogative to the affirmative. Almost that, Tita. Now put the affirmative structure because the dialogue is still interrogative. Yes, Faiza got it right. She asked if I liked English. Excellent, Sala. That's it. She asked me if I liked English. The teacher asked me if I liked English. Okay? So I can use the questions where, what, who, etc. Or I can use if when I report questions. Okay? If I liked English. Wonderful. Do you understand it now, guys? I'm so proud of you. This topic is so difficult and you are all thinking with me, writing comments, participating in the lesson. It's very beautiful, very nice. I'm very happy to see your comments. Okay, let's keep going, all right? Now, let's do some exercises together. So remember, apart from this slide with the tense changes, when it's imperative, we put to or not to. And when it's a question, I put where, what, who, etc. The W8 word, or if, and the tense changed, and in the affirmative form. Excellent, Faiza. Thank you so much for your comment. Kim, I'm very happy that the lesson is helping you guys. So let's keep practicing now with some examples, okay? But before that, let's have a look at the expressions of time. The expressions of place and time, they also change. So naturally, if I'm reporting a conversation, I will not say today, I will say that day, now, then, yesterday, the day before, and so on and so forth. Here will be there, this, that. Those words also change, okay, guys? So you should pay attention to the references of place and time, all right? It's very important. And the last thing is the practice. So let's work with sentence 1. This one will be easy because we have created a similar example here. So he said, I like this song. Put number 1 and the answer, okay? He said, I like this song. Oh, sorry. He said, I like this song. What's the reported speech of that? If I'm talking about this conversation with other person and I want to report that. Oh, Jeffrey, very nice examples. Can we use this in the reported speech? That's an important detail you guys must pay attention to. We cannot use this. We must use that. Okay? Remember that instead of this, we use that. But very good. We change from simple past to, simple present to simple past. So he said, let's keep to number 1 first, okay? So he said he liked that song, okay? Where is your sister? She asked me. Okay, where is an interrogative? Is your sister is present. So she asked me, where? Your answer, Bobo, is still in the interrogative form. Remember to change it to the affirmative, okay? So number 2, pay attention to the procedure. Change the sentence accordingly from present to past, for example, and don't forget to put it in the affirmative form. So number 1, he asked me if I liked that song. Be welcome, Janet. But number 2, I must say she asked me where my sister was, because I'm not asking another question. I'm talking about a question, not necessarily asking things again. That's why the structure must be in the affirmative. All right? Welcome to Donna. Very good. So let's go to number 3, okay? So the answer to number 2, she asked me where my sister, because here your, if you are talking to me, this your is my, okay? So she asked me where my sister was. Very good, Bobo. That's it. That's it, Rajiv. Good job. Good job to you as well, Piroshka, and everyone who's participating and writing down comments. I'm very proud of you guys and very happy that you are participating. So, number 3, I don't speak Italian. Yeah, I don't speak Italian. So she said, let's answer number 3. Excellent. Good job. Let me see the answer to number 3. Let's see who is the fastest. Number 2, she asked me where my sister was. Wonderful. And number 3, I don't speak Italian. Okay, here I must change from the simple present to the simple past. So she said, but here, who is talking, Bobo? I or the woman? The woman, right? So Kim's answer is correct. She said she didn't speak Italian. Way to go. That's it. Good job. Let's go to number 4 now. Attention to number 4. What is number 4, guys? Is number 4 simple past? No, it's not simple past. It is imperative. You guys remember what you should do when we have an imperative sentence. If the sentence is in imperative, I will use, let me pin still a comment, which is the answer to question number 3. All right? Say hello to Jim. What should we do when we report imperative? Remember the song, don't worry, be happy. The song says not to worry, to be happy. So how can we report this sentence here? Say hello to Jim. Number 4, let me see the answers. Let me see if you were paying attention. So how can we report imperative? Yes, almost there, Piroshka. Because here in the imperative, I don't change the tense to the past, okay? So you got it when you talk about the changes from present to past. But the imperative is an exception. It's a little different. I use not to or to, okay? So they asked me, is this affirmative or negative? Number 4, say hello. Say hello is affirmative. Yes, Kim, that's it. They said to say hello to Jim. They asked me, because it's a favor, so I put ask. They asked me to say hello to Jim. All right? Say has a small... Okay, guys, you don't change the tense to the past in this case. Say hello, you put just to say hello because it's imperative. He asked me to say hello to Jim. That's it. Let's go to number 5 now, okay? Oh, Sally is so fast. So fast. He asked me to say hello to Jim. They asked me to say hello to Jim. Yes, because we are with they. Faiza, remember that say hello is affirmative. So she asked me to say hello. Okay? The film began at 7 o'clock. Number 5. The film began at 7 o'clock. The film began at 7 o'clock. Began. Began is simple past. If you remember the last slides, when it's simple past, I change to past perfect. Okay? When it's simple past, I change to past perfect. So in this case, the film had, oh, I gave the answer. So remember, from simple past, it goes to past perfect. Almost there, Piroshka. You just forgot to put had, which is part of past perfect. Okay? So begun, had begun. All right? Now let's go to number 6. Don't play on the grass, boys. Don't play. It's imperative in the negative form. Remember, imperative in the negative form. If the affirmative, we say hello, choose say hello, and the negative. She told the boys. She told the boys. Yes, Salah. Very good. Very good. That's it. That's it. You use not to. So, don't play. Don't play. Not to play. Okay? Don't play. Not to play because it's imperative. So, she told the boys. She told the boys not to play on the grass. Okay? She told the boys not to play on the grass. That's it. Number 7, I never, ever, ever make mistakes. Number 7, I never make mistakes. I never make mistakes. He said. Attention here. Simple present again. Simple present goes to the simple past. Easy busy. So make mistakes. Made mistakes. Okay? In this case, it's simple present. So it's simple past. He said he never made mistakes. Okay? In this case, he said he had never made a mistake. If I use present perfect, have never made a mistake would be had never made a mistake. All right? So let's see the correction together. So here, instead of this, I put that, okay? So he said that he liked that song. To report a question, I use if or the WH word here. And then I put the affirmative form, but I must remember to change from the simple present to the simple past, from the past to the past perfect, so on and so forth. So in this case, is, I put was, but in the affirmative form, okay? So she asked me where my sister was. I don't speak Italian. This is simple past. Oh, sorry, simple present. I changed to simple past. So she said that she didn't speak Italian. Say hello to Jim is imperative. Remember that imperative we use not to or to. So they asked me to say hello to Jim. The film began at 7 o'clock. He said that the film had begun at 7 o'clock. Had begun because from past and present perfect, I put past participle, which is had and participle of the verb. Okay? Don't play on the grass, boys. She told the boys not to play on the grass, all right? I never make mistakes. He said that he never made mistakes. Okay, my dearest students, I hope this class was useful. And before leaving, let me just give you guys one extra tip. What's the difference of tell and say in terms of structure? Remember that if you want to mention the person, if you want to mention the person who was listening to, the person who heard the conversation, the addresser, you use the verb tell, because you tell someone something. Okay? If you want to mention just the conversation, you use the verb say, because then you can omit the addresser. Because you say something to someone, which you can omit. Okay? So that will help you to use the correct verb when you are reporting. So for example, she said she loved me to someone. This person could be me, this person could be a friend, okay? But here, it's not important. But I could say she told me she loved me. Okay? Here in this case, I'm including the addresser. Told me. Okay? It's not that it must be always this way, but if you think this way, it will help you to always choose the correct verb. Whenever you want to mention the person who was participating in the conversation, you go for the verb tell. If you do not want to mention the person who is participating or who participated in the conversation, you should go for the verb say, okay? All right, guys. So that's it for today. Thank you. It was a very hard topic, but hopefully you guys understand it now. And thank you so much for being around and for your kind comments. I love you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't teach yesterday, but I will try to keep a routine of teaching for you guys. It was really, really an exceptional case because I had family over and they traveled for many hours to visit me, so it was impossible to come here on Friday. All right? Thank you so much. Very good, Bubble. I love you guys more, Piroshka. Thank you, guys. So bye-bye. See you on Wednesday. But before that, I will try to go live for chit chat. Okay? Thank you, Kim. You are the best, guys. Thank you, Salah. Thank you, guys, for participating in this class. All right? So see you on Wednesday. And if possible, I come live another day just for a chat, just to see you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.